No minute. Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the teleconsultation of Youth India Foundation. We have Dr. Somak over here with us for the teleconsultation. I would like Dr. Somak to introduce himself right now. So, Doctor, please go ahead with your introduction. Yes, Doctor, I guess there's a glitch. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Doctor. There's a lag. You're lagging. You're lagging.
Hello.
Yeah, your voice is
Hello.
audible now. Yeah, you're audible now.
Okay. I am Dr. Somik Bhattacharya. I am at the moment working at ESI hospital at Patna, which is an exclusively COVID hospital at the moment, and it is one of the biggest hospital now in Patna, which is dealing all throughout with the COVID patients. So it will be my
Okay, well,
pleasure if I can share my ideas and share my experiences with you all.
yes, definitely. You are always welcome to go ahead with that. Please, you can go ahead with your sharing part. Please go ahead.
Okay. Firstly, when the second wave actually started this year, the second wave appeared when we were completely unaware of the situation, practically to say. We were practically in a sense of we are in a sense of complacence. We are very much satisfied with the first wave, how the government dealt with the first wave, and practically what happened, why the second wave happened. This is very much important. Second wave wouldn't have happened, I think. Of course, happened, but not in such a scale. If people were aware of the situation, aware of the safety protocols, how one can be safe. But what I see, still today, when I was coming from my state to Bihar, till today, I saw that there is a lot of unawareness. People are not wearing masks. People are not maintaining the safety protocols. People are not maintaining the social distancing norms
Yeah, you're totally right.
properly. Of course, there are some political dilemma and all. That's a separate thing. But firstly, we have to be aware. If we are not aware, none can save us. We have to admit that. Now, when the second wave came, I was working in the OPD here only. Suddenly, everything was shut down. The whole hospital was made COVID. And what I saw was some death toll, just some death toll, without oxygen, without medication, without anything at the beginning. Now the situation is coming under control. I won't say it has already come under control. It is slowly and slowly it is coming under control. Now, the problem is that when I first dealt with the patients, what I faced was that the patients, more than the patient's family was very much relaxed. Even after they brought the patient in the hospital, they were very much like, it happens. Uh, huh, they had an attitude like that. It happens, and it is the responsibility of the state. It is the responsibility of the doctor. Firstly, government from the beginning, from the first day of the COVID, till it was declared as a public health threat all over the world. What the government has first and foremost, it emphasized is the safety protocol that you have to maintain 6 gauge ki duri and you have to wear mask, and that mask should be what type of mask? That is N95, triple layer N95 mask or 2 ply হচ্ছে কিনা surgical mask. But what I say, even if someone is maintaining distance, they are using somewhat like mask like of cloth or mask of even even I will say not even mask. They are actually doing the thing with their sari, with a handkerchief like this. These are not the recommended protocol. The recommended things are 2-ply surgical mask and 3 layer, 4 layer, 5 layer N95 mask only. You have to follow this protocol. Secondly, always what we know is that prevention is better than cure. There is no cure. We have to understand this thing. We may demand from the doctors, from the government, that why the death toll, why there is so much death, why can government control it? If it was controllable, then it was not at all a pandemic. If it was controllable, there is no government in the world, no government, including US government or any government in the European Union, none could control pandemic. India controlled it in a better way than them. But if we are unaware, none can save us. Secondly, social distancing norm. When every day, what I see when I go by car or go by anything, what I see in the budget time, when there is already budget time happening, you have time, you have enough time, take time, you have to give time. But everyone is in hurry. Everyone, your life is first priority. Your life is first priority. Then your budget, then your food, then everything. If you don't at all uh, if you don't at all leave, then what will happen to your food? There is no meaning of this food. You will get your bazaar, you will get everything. Take time, maintain distance, maintain norms, and everything will be in place. You will be all right. First thing is this. Second thing is, first, in the first instance, what I saw, people were very much relaxed. People were very much casual. Now, at this moment, if I see, people are anxious. People are over aware. That's also a problem in Indian society, Indian scenario. Why? Because when I give rounds in my ward, most of the patients, corona is a very mild disease. You need to understand this. We have own very severe diseases in India. We doctors have own. We people have own, like tuberculosis, multi-drug resistance tuberculosis. Then when we can win over the tuberculosis thing, we can obviously win over this corona. This corona is nothing to us. Just what happened, some mutations happened, it is changing in itself. But whatever it changes, you just see there are 140 crore people in our country. Though it may look like I am a very small country, to 140
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there
cases
is a lag
country.
again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're audible now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible now.
Yeah. Okay. There are, you need, what I told is that you need to look at the statistics. I may sound some cruel, but you need to see So the statistics. What the statistic is telling? We have 140 crore people, which is, if you believe me, in India there is 140 crore people, and in whole Northern America and Europe, if we combine the whole population, it is only 1.0 something crore people, okay, million
Right.
people. So you need to understand India is such a huge country. It's such a huge country. 140 crore people. Among them, every day, only 3 lakh cases, 3 to 3.5 lakh cases are happening. And the death, daily death is only 3,000 to 4,000. So that is nothing to the whole population, if you see. And that this data itself indicates towards the carelessness of the pathogenicity of this virus. This pathogen is actually callous. It can't kill. We need to understand this. We need not to be anxious at the first stage. This is not a virus to be anxious. We have on much severe things. So why should we be anxious? So at the first instance, we are very much casual. Now we were over anxious. When I give round in the wards, what I see, most of the patients means if one ward has 20 patients, 15 to 16 of them are completely normal, actually normal. And rest 3 to 4, among them 2 to 3 has severe disease and 1 to 2 has moderate disease. The problem is most of the patients, what they say is that there is loss of smell, there is loss of taste, there is breathlessness. I have seen patients, they are attached to the monitor, their SpO2 is telling 98% check in room air. 98% in room air. If I measure myself at the moment, it may be, I may get that I'm only at 97% or 96%. And they're diseased. And when they're attached to the monitor, we are seeing they are at 98% SpO2 level. Still they're complaining, Dr. Babu, I'm having a severe breathlessness. Actually, the cause of this is nothing related to corona. It is related to the anxiousness which is generating from the fear of corona. We are anxious very much. And most of the patients who are suffering from breathlessness, actually, they are they have breathlessness. I am not denying that thing. But one of the major factors behind this breathlessness is anxiety. Anxiety is a big cause of this breathlessness. If you maintain every protocol, if you maintain, I won't say social distance. Social distance is a very harsh thing, harsh word, I think. We will say bodily distance. Bodily distance means we will keep a distance of 1 meter or 6 feet between people. We will wear mask. Even like I am at home at the moment. I am at my quarter at the moment. I am wearing mask. When you are at home, wear mask because you need to understand this thing that when you are home, when you are talking to your mother, when you are talking to your father, when you are talking to your dear and near ones, neither you nor they are achieving a COVID resistance. Neither you or they are achieving a COVID resistant. It is not. It's not a fact that when you are talking outside, you are spreading COVID, and when you are talking inside home, you are not spreading COVID. You are of course spreading COVID also inside home. So you need to wear mask. You need to maintain hand hygiene, also inside home, outside home, and also inside home. And take time when you are going to bazaar, when you are going to shops, when you are going to any office. Take time, maintain distance. Not only you take time, you also convince others to take time. You also convince others to make a distance to keep a distance among yourselves. নিজেদের মধ্যে একটা distance রাখতে হবে. This is the thing. And when you are going outside, come home. That's a bit of a tiresome thing, but you need to wash your clothes thoroughly. You need to wash your clothes means you yourself need to wash your clothes, because when you are coming from outside the home, say those clothes are contaminated with COVID virus. Now someone other is washing that clothes, so he or she is exposed. So why to expose others for your own thing? Try to find the virus in a very limited space. It may affect you, but don't let others to get affected. Others should not get it. You may get affected, but if you can prevent the spread of this virus, that's enough. That's enough contribution for your country to wash your own clothes. When you are coming from outside, bring the bazaar. You need not to do much thing. Just take one bucket of water, uh, take some salt, make some saline water, some hot saline water. Keep those things which are immersible, which can be immersed in the water. Immerse those and keep that for 30 minutes or 1 hour. Then use those things. That's not very much difficult thing. That's a day-to-day practice. Wait, I'm coming.
Yeah.
One person has questioned me, sir, how to
Yeah.
maintain oxygen level during COVID. One of my relatives all of suddenly loses his breathing, and after few seconds he's gone. All of suddenly oxygen level get decreased. What precautions one should take to maintain oxygen level? What should it take in medicine for that? Okay, I am coming to every question that you are asking one by one. Pose the questions here. I will give reply after some time. But you keep posting here. Now, so first thing is get out of the anxiousness. Second thing is calmly maintain things and make other and you can convince others to maintain things. That's not very much difficult. Next, most of the patients, if I see even after anxiousness, they are suffering from COVID. Most of the cases among them, 90 to 95% cases are mild COVID. What is mild COVID? What is the definition of mild COVID? There is not definite symptom. There is no definite symptom. On the symptom, they may tell that, sir, I have lost my smell. Sir, I have lost my taste. That happens with everything. Yes, smell is a typical thing. We don't lose smell in everything. That's typical for COVID. But we lose taste in most of the diseases. But anything happens to our body. And that's mild. Not having any recognition, your oxygen saturation is more than 94%. Up to 94%, the cutoff value is 94%. Up to 94%, everything is fine. Take deep breath, wear mask, keep yourself isolated, take food in an isolated place, maintain hand hygiene, maintain don't leave any chance to maintain hygiene. And you will be cured automatically, naturally. You may take ivermectin, a very known tablet nowadays, ivermectin, that is 12 milligram once a day for 5 days. You may take, but there is no documented efficacy of the drug practically. There is no documented efficacy. It may work, may not work. And saw even in the second wave is that patients are taking hydroxychloroquine tablet. That's dangerous. Without consulting, without having any Holter monitor in place, you are taking hydroxychloroquine. That's very much dangerous in a point that it causes a very severe side effect known as the torsades de pointes. What is torsades de pointes? A kind of cardiac arrhythmia. And in 9 out of 10 cases of torsades de pointes, the patient will die. A such case happened in our fraternity also. That is in the command hospital. Command hospital, one anesthesiologist. He took hydroxychloroquine without any Holter monitoring, and he died because of this severe side effect. Don't take hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine is obsolete from the guideline now at the moment, as I said. It is obsolete. It is no more used because of its side effect. And Indian public are so much, what I will say, over anxious in everything. They keep storage of these drugs, these severe drugs, these dangerous drugs. Like at the moment, there is a black marketing of remdesivir is happening. Black marketing of remdesivir. Remdesivir, then tocilizumab, Fabiflu, these drugs. These drugs are not in recommendation at the moment because they don't have any documented efficacy. Simple thing is that they don't have any documented efficacy. They are obsolete from the guideline. They are clinically trialed when the case is going out of hand. That is in the severe case, when your SpO2 is below 80%. But why should you use these drugs? When you have SpO2 like 97%, 98%, you are a normal person. Why are you taking such toxic drugs? It has toxicity, and of course these toxicities have effect. Just yesterday, I got in 90% of the people who took fake remdesivir, they actually got cured. Now, how is it happening? Practically, what I said just some minutes ago, that it is more a mental disease than a true disease. We have 97, 98% SpO2, you are all right. Just what happened? When some RT-PCR was done, the sample had some virus and it came positive. That doesn't mean it has infected you. The presence of mere virus doesn't mean it has infected you. It has infected your lower respiratory tract. When the symptoms will come? Symptoms will only come when it infects the lower respiratory tract. That is the trachea, that is the alveoli, that is the lungs, that is the lung parenchyma, that is the hilar tissue. These are affected. When it is undergoing fibrosis, when it is undergoing ground glass opacity, it is dangerous. But it is just in that swab, in that nasopharyngeal swab, or in oropharyngeal swab, they have got some virus. And of course, when they have got some virus, they have got some gene in the virus which are causing this infection. They have given the report, yes, it is RT-PCR positive. Simple. That doesn't mean it has infected you. Next. Now coming to the true scenario, when there is actually the disease. When there will be actually the disease, when you need to get hospitalized, when the SpO2 is less than 94% and you are feeling symptoms. What are these symptoms? Symptoms like breathlessness. You can take breath when you are in supine posture or in prone posture. You are feeling very much tired. You are feeling some chest pain. These symptoms, when they will appear, you are not feeling well, whatever. And you saw with that pulse oximeter, your pulse is more than 100, your SpO2 is less than 94%. you need to get admitted at that point only. For what? You need to, why should you get admitted? The drugs are there, they will give the same drugs. That is same ivermectin, same, that is a placebo effect of a chicken or remdesivir. When you give remdesivir to a person, he gets very much pleased that this doctor is treating me. Practically, remdesivir doesn't have any proved efficacy, but the patient gets missed. That's one of the major things why we give remdesivir. Plus, it has some antiviral effect, so we try this. Nothing more than that. Why the hospitalization is needed? To get steroid. To get steroid. Steroid is the life-saving drug. We need to understand. Steroid means dexamethasone. Dexamethasone IV 1 vial. Give step. Just some minutes ago, some patient, some person messaged in this group that the patient suddenly blacked out, the patient SpO2 suddenly crushed. So what to do? Suddenly crush means nothing crushes suddenly. The disease was inside. The problem is that probably you did not check the SpO2 in an intermittent interval. You did not check. That is possible. But suddenly everything was all right. If suddenly someone is dying, that means the cause is somewhat like a cardiac failure. Cardiac some problem, some cardiac arrhythmia, some cardiac cause was there. But respiratory failure without any obvious symptoms, it occurs very much less. Maybe there was not proper maintenance, or there was not proper uh, recording of SpO2 at a stable and fixed intermittent interval. You did not check. And you checked, when the patient's SpO2 crashed. Crash means when it went below 94%, 90%, 85%. You checked at that moment. And obviously, when you are at home and the SpO2 is going below 85% or 80%, one thing is that you can make the patient prone. Prone means you are just toppling the patient. In the bed, just get a pillow just under the shoulder and topple the patient so that patient's head is the patient's head is directed in front, at front, like this, and the patient's shoulders are supported by pillow, and patient's hip is supported by another pillow. Don't touch the abdomen over the bed. Don't touch the abdomen over the bed. Why you should not touch the abdomen over the bed? Because if you touch the abdomen on the bed, you can breathe. When we breathe, the abdomen goes up and down, goes up and down. So if you block that movement, then the respiration will automatically be stopped. So don't let the patient's abdomen touch the bed. And then tell the patient, take deep breaths. It is told that some 5 to 10% increase may happen. But increase of SpO2 may happen. But that is not the definitive treatment. If your SpO2 is already less than 94%, just proning the patient won't help much. Yes, it will help at the moment for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But gradually the SpO2 will fall. So you need to, first and foremost thing, you need to monitor SpO2. You need to monitor vitals. What are the vitals? BP, pulse, respiration, temperature. And now the new thing is the capillary refill time. What is capillary refill time? Just press over your nails and see when it will. Just press over your nails for 2 to 3 seconds and release the nail. You will see there is a reddening of the nails. Why there is reddening of the nails? Because the blood is coming back there. When you have pressed those nails, the blood is squeezed, and when you have released the nail, when you have a chicken release the nails, the blood will come back. If the capillary refill time is apparently taking more time, that means there is less blood already in the body. So the tissues are suffering from hypoxia. If there is less blood, there is less oxygen. The tissues are suffering from hypoxia. These are the basic skills. You need to monitor BP. You need to monitor pulse. If BP and pulse is crashing, the patient is going in shock. What is shock? Shock means there is less oxygen, there is less blood, or there is less cardiac activity. Something is happening. Either there is less blood, patient may be suffering from anemia, some inherent blood loss inside the body, maybe there is trauma, maybe there is some liver damage, patient is taking already some anticoagulant or something like that drugs, there is some liver damage, so there is inherent you don't even know. Maybe the patient is going in shock and the SpO2 is falling rapidly. There are many reasons. So the first thing is you need to, when the symptoms are rising, when the symptoms are rising, when there is RT-PCR positive, yes, measure vitals. Measure vitals. What I said, if it is below 94%, don't take time. Don't consult with your neighbors what to do. Don't consult with anyone what to do. I am telling you, take the patient to the hospital. Why should you take the patient to the hospital with RT-PCR report positive? Because there they will give the life-saving drug. What is the life-saving drug? That is steroid. Now, how this steroid acts? When the SpO2 is less, so the patient is actually suffering from hypoxia, right? Oxygen is less. What is hypoxia? Tissues are getting less oxygen. So the patient is suffering from hypoxia. So you need to give oxygen to the tissues. Now what these drugs do, what these corticosteroids do, they open. When there is less oxygen, there is less alveoli in the lungs which are acting. Oxygen is less, means lungs is acting less, means alveoli is acting less. Alveoli are what are alveoli? Alveoli are some sacs, but the gaseous exchange occurs. Some sacs in the lungs. So when there is less oxygen, these sacs are collapsed. These sacs are collapsed. When there is no oxygen, what means there is no oxygen, so that they don't have any job. So those alveoli have collapsed. They have collapsed. What this corticosteroid does, it opens those collapsed alveoli. When it opens those collapsed alveoli, automatically those alveoli will get filled with air and the gaseous exchange will increase and the SpO2 will rise in a very short interval. But I have saved a patient in the world. One patient I could not save and one patient I saved. What I told, the SpO2 is 94%, is less than 94%. The patient can be saved. And the patient which I observed, which I treated, who I treated, had SpO2 of 35%. 35%, that is also with oxygen mask, that is at 10 liters per minute oxygen. SpO2 here, old patient, more than 70 aged patient, SpO2 of 35%. What I did, I just infused 2 vials of corticosteroid. And you won't believe, within half an hour time, the patient's SpO2 rose from 35% to 80%. So if someone's SpO2 can rise with corticosteroid in intravenous line from 35 to 80%, of course, someone who has SpO2 at 80% level, his SpO2 will of course rise above 90%, 94%, 95%. Will of course, he can be saved. Another thing, another life-saving drug is there. When the disease is severe, it doesn't happen that the patient dies suddenly. Patient may die of first thing is there is respiratory failure, that the patient can't take breathe. That is one thing. When the SpO2 is 35% means there is no oxygen. If there is no oxygen, so patient can breathe and the patient will die. This corona is a thromboembolic disorder. What is thromboembolic disorder? As this is a systemic disorder, it releases a lot of cytokines and all these things, interleukin 6, interleukin 10, all these things. These are the things which stimulate the thrombotic process. What is thrombotic process? That is the blood clotting process, which is physiological, but it will stimulate that process. So when it stimulates that process, there is every possibility that there is clot formation in the major blood vessel, there is heart attack, there is stroke, there is anything, there is uh, that is taken a deep vein thrombosis, there may be angina, there may be abdominal angina, that is the mesenteric artery thrombus formation, anything may happen. So you need to also prevent this thromboembolic condition. So what you will do, you will give enoxaparin, another drug, 0.5 milligram IV, IV not, it is given SC, that is subcutaneous route. In the subcutaneous route, it is given. So these are the two life-saving drugs, steroids and the enoxaparin. But you will give these life-saving drugs only after you monitor at your home, calmly and regularly. If you don't know the patient's status properly, if you if you can continuously observe the thing, the patient's condition, how can you understand that when you have to give these drugs, if these drugs are given, everything can be managed. Even after these drugs are failing, you have to take the patient to the ventilation. Now the question is, now what the people actually fear of are these ventilations, or the hospitalization, or these drugs. They actually fear this. Now why you don't need to fear all these things? You need to combat corona in style actually. You need to combat corona in style. Because you need to first believe that corona is nothing. I can combat with corona. If you believe, if you can believe, the patient himself will can motivate others that just take care of me and I will be saved. You need to get convinced, you yourself need to get convinced that yes, I have corona and I will be saved. First thing, you need to be very much positive. Yes, he is telling, he is not telling, you are consulting with your neighbor, you are consulting with him or that. Don't waste your time. Make your decision scientifically, make your decision confidently. Take measures, take scientific measures. What you feel is scientific. Take scientific measures, maintain every hygiene. In 90%, over 90% cases, you will be cured. And even if you are not cured and you are monitoring everything, you know that if it goes below 94%, you have life-saving drugs. You have ventilation already prepared for you. Government is continuously trying and they will keep trying in the future too. I know that. And they're trying, I see. Oxygen, yes, there was some oxygenation problem, but India is gradually getting over that. And India will get over the problem. Already have increased the oxygen supply almost 10 times from the beginning. So we are getting over everything. So this is the thing. Don't get anxious. Stay calm. Maintain hygiene. Stay scientific. That is the main thing. Stay scientific. Don't believe anything other than science and governmental health system. We have a very much tendency that we believe the private things more than the government things. We have a very, this is our tendency. This is the fact. We have a tendency. Believe in governmental system. Government has, governmental hospitals have immense infrastructure, has everything. It has everything. Governmental structure has everything. Take the help of the government. Take the help of the health department. Take help without any hesitation. Take help. They will of course help you. Okay. And the thing is that maintain everything. Hello. And the thing is
Yeah.
that maintain everything. It will be all right. So this is the thing. And if the thing goes out of hand, then those remdesivir, tocilizumab, now the 2-DG has come into action, 2-deoxyglucose had come into action. They will be utilized later, very later. We think of these drugs at the first, then we think of the basic things at last. We need to think what are the basic first, then we have to go for the superior things. Think scientific, maintain everything, everything will be cured. Patient don't die of corona. Patient die of lack of decision. Patient don't take decision, right decision at the right time. So they die. Take proper decision. And another thing is if you have comorbidities already present. Comorbidities means if you have diabetes, that is a cardiovascular problem, liver problem, some kidney failure, anything, thromboembolic disorder already present in the body. Don't waste your time. Consult with the health department, get admitted because you need monitoring. Without monitoring, already a patient who is suffering from some comorbidity can be cured. He can be controlled. His disease can be controlled. So go scientific, maintain everything, take proper decision at proper time. Don't get hesitated. Don't take over opinion. If you take over opinion, if you take opinion from 10%, 15%, most of the people don't understand things scientifically. So if you are taking consult, of course take consultation, but don't take over consultation. If you take over consultation, you are wasting your time. Don't waste your time. Take proper decision at proper time. Take medical help. Take the help of the health department. And I believe everyone will be cured. Thank you. Do you have
Yes,
any queries?
definitely. Yes, I would like the people. There are some people here to. If they have any questions, please go ahead. Guys, do you have any questions? I guess no questions. So I have some questions. Okay. So recently, there was a news about the third wave of coronavirus. But recently,
Hmm.
like last week, I have read a new in the news that there will be a fourth wave as well. So, can you give us any idea what will the third wave contain, or else if they're saying about the fourth wave as well, what will that contain? Because this is a major things happening then, coming with the third wave and then fourth
See,
wave again.
see, when you, I am giving an example of you.
Yeah.
When you stay somewhere, what you try to do? To you, you try to keep that place clean. Where you are
Right.
staying, you try to keep that place clean. You try to avoid mess in that place. You try to avoid any quarrel with your neighbor. You try to avoid everything which is bad. Now, there is mutation occurring every time in the body of that virus. Why? Why there is need of mutation? Why there is change in the virus? You need to understand this. Change in the virus so that as we try to stay better every day than yesterday, The virus also tries this in the same way. The virus also tries in the same way. In the same way means it also tries to stay better today than yesterday. Okay. Now, when there will be third wave, why they are saying there will be third wave? Because the virus is changing and we don't have anything in our hand till date, no medicine, nothing. But the thing is that there will be increment in the virulence. There will be increment in the virulence. There will be increment in the infectivity. It will infect more people. It will make more human body its host because it will try to make its own but if this virus it's not only killing the host, it's also killing itself, right?
Right.
If it is killing a host, it's not only killing the host, it is killing also itself. So virus will also try to save the to to save its host, of course, save the host and increase your number. That's the fundamental principle in every lively body, every lively organism that is present in our nature. So this virus will also try to save its host, but to infect in most number. This is the basic thing. So as long as the more and more mutations will come, infectivity will rise, but it will
Yeah,
infect people.
there is a glitch. There is a glitch, doctor.
Also develop.
Yes, you're audible now.
So every organism tries, this virus will also try to save people more. That is less pathogenicity. It will kill people less, but more infectivity or virulence. That it will infect people more. And every day we are getting infected with this or that. Coronavirus is not a new thing. We are getting infected with this and that every day. But if the infectivity is less, we don't need to worry. If you see the history of all the pandemics, it is seen that every time second wave will be second wave remains the most dangerous wave because the mutation is the most dangerous. But after that, the mutations are favorable for its host also, for the virus also. So it depends. There will be third wave, fifth wave, sixth wave, 10th wave, nth wave, anything. But first the principles are remaining same. Maintain distance, maintain principles, maintain protocols from today, only today, from today only. And we will pause, stay scientific.
Oh, I'm sorry to
No, they will
interrupt you,
come.
doctor. There is a glitch again. There's a lag again. So could you just repeat it again?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, you're
Can
audible
you
now.
hear me?
Yes, yes.
There may be third wave. There may be fourth wave. There may be nth wave. You have asked me the question out of anxiety because you are
Right.
seeing that second wave is so much dangerous. So what will happen if the third wave comes? If the fourth wave comes? If the fifth wave comes? What will happen? You are very much anxious from this moment. Better don't be anxious. Be protective. Maintain everything. So
Yes,
third wave,
doctor.
fourth wave, fifth wave, wave may occur. But if you solve it, it will come and go. It will come and go. Every day, some wave is going out, coming in. It don't matter if you are all right. So try to keep you and your surroundings all right. Then It doesn't matter what is the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. And I've seen that the third wave may infect infants. It may infect anyone, but maintain everything. It won't able to trouble anyone. This is the thing. And the first protocol is that don't get anxious. First protocol is that don't get anxious, take calm, take proper decision at proper time. And everything will be in your hand, not in the virus's hand. What we are doing, we are giving everything in the virus's hand, out of anxious, out of anxiety. Keep everything in your hand and the virus will be boiled out. Okay?
Yes, yes, definitely. You are absolutely right at this point because, the news coming up with the number of deaths happening, the news coming up with the, like shortage of oxygen, shortage of medicines. It really bothers people because we don't know what is going to happen in future. So it really bothers. Yes, you are absolutely right at this point. We should actually focus on our mental health as well. Keep our mental health in a positive way, and then we'll be able to fight against this in a very good format.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
Okay, so
absolutely.
I would also like to add upon this key. Right now, we are going to enter in a rainy season, so we might, get infected with a viral. So, getting infected with a viral, how will we will be assuming that it is a COVID symptoms or a normal viral?
Actually, what he was questioning is that how will you differentiate how will you
Yes,
check and
the difference.
differentiate a viral disease from a
Yes,
health? How will you differentiate a viral disease from a viral disease?
yes,
Practically, what happens is that all the viral diseases are same. This corona is also a virus, so the symptoms are same. One extra symptom is there, that is the loss of smell. Otherwise, you have to go for RT-PCR for every virus detection, and for this, you also have to go for RT-PCR. But the thing is that
yes,
with other viral disease, the fever normally subsides after 2 to 3 days. But here, it is somewhat more. It is somewhat more of a dedicated virus, so the fever doesn't subside so much easily, as it causes a severe interleukin storm or cytokine storm. So that's one diagnostic thing, that the fever is not subsiding even after taking paracetamol or antipyretics. Another thing is loss of smell. If you are getting any of these symptoms, get tested. What is RT-PCR telling? If the RT-PCR is positive specifically for this COVID-19, yes, you are positive. You are positive, but you need not to worry. This is the thing. And another thing is that maintain go for the saline water gargle, go for the water vapor. Actually, there is no difference. Yes, differences in what? If you are suffering from a chicken, a dengue virus, if you are suffering from malaria, those have different antigen. So blood investigations are also an important parameter. And in this case, what is happening, what I am seeing, in if I see in the prognosis in the treatment prognosis thing, two prognostic markers are actually there. That is the D dimer, and another thing is the procalcitonin level. D dimer and the procalcitonin level, these are used, and if they're increased, so you need to understand that if they're increased, you need to understand that the disease prognosis is not good. This is the prognostic point of view. Another thing is that interleukin 6 by interleukin 10 ratio, but that is not that much specific. The specific thing is only that loss of smell, and second is the RT-PCR. Even better than the RT-PCR, if you can expense a bit more, that is the gene expert technique. That will definitely tell, yes, you are suffering from COVID-19. Gene expert, which is utilized to detect tuberculosis. It can also detect this COVID-19 antigen.
yes,
So loss of smell is equal to RT-PCR positive. If you are losing your smell, then you assume that you are suffering from COVID-19. That's the thing. special thing about this
Definitely.
corona.
So smell is to be noted down if we are not able to smell something, so it will surely be a part where we are infected through COVID.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
also, doctor, there were certain things happening, like saying Ayurvedic kadas are also helpful. So, do you agree for that? Ayurvedic kadas are helpful for maybe increasing the COVID-19 or anything such? Are they helpful in anything related to COVID?
What I am saying is that, see, I'm an allopathic doctor.
Yeah,
That's an Indian system of medicine. And what we are actually the foreigners. We
yeah,
are practicing the foreign substance, that is the system of medicine. I can't say that it won't come to any use. I can't say that because that's a completely different system of medicine about what I don't know anything. I need to
right,
admit this thing. But if you see the guideline, the guideline is completely based on allopathic system of medicine.
right,
Till date, there is no guideline by the apex body, that is the ICMR in India, as well as internationally WHO. There is no guideline which is emphasizing on Indian system of medicine. No guideline is emphasizing on the Indian system of medicine. When I say go scientific, I will say go scientific according to the ICMR guideline always. And if ICMR is supporting, ICMR is supporting Indian system of medicine to combat this corona pandemic. I don't have any complaint with that because they are the body which are completely dedicated for the research work. If they emphasize on this Indian system of medicine, it's okay. But till now, there is no guideline.
yeah. Okay, so we shouldn't like officially say as let's go towards Ayurveda. We shouldn't be saying for it, right?
Uh, Pardon me.
I was saying that we shouldn't be officially saying that Ayurveda is totally helping to us towards this.
I won't. I won't actually comment on this matter. If there are
Yeah.
also legends in the field of Indian system of medicine.
Yes, definitely.
If they are suggesting anything, I don't have knowledge about that thing. What I
Yeah.
have knowledge is the ICMR protocol, ICMR guideline. What I can say is about the ICMR guideline only.
Yes,
And that's
definitely.
the thing we have in our hand. We have, that's the weapon we have to combat this COVID 19. I won't say don't go there. You may go there if you believe you may go there. But I will always suggest to stick with ICMR, not stick with me. Don't stick with me. Stick with ICMR. Stick with
Yes.
government. Stick with governmental guidelines. Don't stick with me. I'm nothing. I'm just a doctor. There is apex research body called WHO. There is prime minister. There is chief minister. There is huge bodies. I'm none. I'm none to comment. But ICMR is there to comment. So always go by the guideline of ICMR. I will always suggest this.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Okay. Also, there was a situation wherein, like last week, there was a news regarding that alcohol is also curing. There was a doctor from a certain, I guess it was Maharashtra district, is as per my knowledge. So it was from Maharashtra district, and he was saying about alcohol helping towards COVID to recover patients. So, do you have any certain part that alcohol will help to recover through us through COVID?
Still, still there is no even
Yeah.
there is no proposal of this thing.
Yeah.
Trial is a very big thing. That is a very far away thing. Trial.
Right.
There is not even a proposal on this thing. Official
Right.
proposal as not is the ICMR or any governmental system of medicine. So if any doctor is telling, maybe he will also gonna submit this proposal in future to the government. I can say this, but of course, till now we don't have any data.
Right.
Even data, we don't have even any data on this thing. If anyone is such researching in this thing, it's welcome. Yes, alcohol such many things. Alcohol is the mainstay of this such COVID combat. If we don't have sanitizer, will be destroyed. That's also alcohol. That's 70% isopropyl alcohol. That's also helpful for us.
Yeah.
But systemically utilization of this alcohol, I have not got any official data till now.
Yeah. Right. Definitely. Okay, so there's my last question, wherein I've heard personally that after vaccination, there is such part that people are not donating plasma. So is it that after vaccination, like we shouldn't be donating our plasma?
Actually, regarding the plasma donation initially when in the first wave, when there was no vaccine, it was suggested that it was requested. I won't say suggested. It was requested that if you are recovering from COVID-19, give plasma. Why? Because if you are suffering from COVID-19, some antibodies will get generated in your body. If you are giving plasma, those plasma have antibody against this thing, against this COVID-19 antigen, and you are saving one's life. Now, this vaccine is also generating resistance in the same way. It produces antibody. But the thing is that if you are giving plasma only after the first dose of the vaccine, first dose is for the sensitization of the body. What is sensitization? That you are injecting some antigen in the body, and the body is getting introduced to the antigen. That yes, there is a antigen of COVID which is existing in the nature. Body is coming to know that thing. So it is starting production of little bit of antibody. Of course, don't give plasma in that case. All the antibodies will be washed out. But when you are giving second dose, there is an immense amount of antibody storm in the body.
Right.
But yes, why it is not recommended that much to produce? Still, I will again say there is no guideline actually to donate plasma after vaccination. Whatever is happening is works. Whatever is happening is works. There is immense amount of antibody, but what we need for the treatment of COVID-19 antigen, as I said, that this virus is changing itself every day. So there is development of newer strains every day. And there are, though it is changing every day, there is development of newer strains every day, but the basic structure, basic things are not changing actually. So there are some 3 to 4 strains in our nature in India. In India, we have only 3 to 4 strains. Now the plasma collection is based on the antibodies which are produced against which strain. Now the thing is that when you are giving vaccine, that vaccine is a combined vaccine. Yes, it will act. That doesn't mean it will act against the mutant strain. Already which is mutated, it won't of course act against that, because the composition of vaccine is also fixed. We are not changing. Scientists will work out on that. They will add some more strains in that vaccine, then it will act with the mutant strain
Right.
also.
Right.
So
Definitely.
it is still under study what will happen after vaccination if you give plasma. But of course, it is requested and recommended to give plasma after you are
Yes.
producing antibody.
Yes, right. You're absolutely right. We actually are in a need for plasma, obviously, to get the patients recovered if suggested by the doctor. So, yes. So, doctor, I would like the people over here to, once again ask that if they have any questions, so please go ahead, guys. Um, are you guys having any questions for doctor? Okay, I guess there are no questions because you've told all the information in detail right from the start, and that was actually a great knowledge for us to be, known to the people about what are the oxygen levels, about each and every part. You have covered it very well. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for joining, being on the duty, being in the hospital right now. You're just covering entire point. You are there with us for the live session. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
We
Nice to meet
really,
you all also.
yeah, nice to meet you too, Dr. Somik. It was a very interesting and a very important life lesson for us as well. It really provided us a great knowledge. You, the doctors right now are the real, we can say as a warriors fighting against corona, fighting against everything, giving, like saving lives of every person out there who is infected with COVID right now. So thank you so much, doctor, for joining us today for the live session. It was a great opportunity for us to, have you on the live session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Okay, is it done? Okay.